Hun Reloaded added another victory to their Vargr setup list. How long can they keep running this?
It's a game of chicken at this point, really, because whoever wins the Godfathers and Heretic are going to come up against them, and they'll probably going to think, well, there's no chance they're going to bring Vargrs again. But they'll probably, everyone has to be starting to think about whatever setup you bring against Hun, you have to be thinking, how would this setup beat Vargrs, no matter what it is. You don't want to be fighting just Vargrs, you don't want to be aiming it right towards it, but you need to have that thought in your head of how would I plan for that.
Usually when we see teams not do a lot of damage, it's because there's like an overwhelming amount of electronic warfare on them. There wasn't really any on Fearless, and they didn't do any damage. What went on?
I mean, we were talking about that the whole fight. I think that what must have happened, even though I'm not positive, is that they were really focused on... A lot of time what happens is people get set on doing damage to a particular ship, and then can't catch that ship. So here, if they decided early on that they were going to kill the Scimitar first, and then just stuck with that regardless of everything else, and got peeled off by Frigs, or just couldn't catch up to it ever, that could have resulted in them just doing very little damage for the entire match. They could have done the same thing by saying we're going to focus on Frigs for the most of the fight and had a hard time catching Frigs or had a hard time staying together so that when they did, they were able to do damage. But it was weird. They did very, very little. And over a long period of time, it was strange they didn't adjust. It seems like they tested a Vargr for a second at one point, but didn't have any luck at all that Simi was enough to keep it topped off right away. So then they went back to the Scimitar. But I don't know.
It is tough to explain. I think that's a really good explanation.
So the Vargrs were instantly tracking disrupted, but it didn't really cut it. Like, do you need that sensor dampener as like supplementary, or because I mean the tracking disruption went on instantly, stayed there the entire match, and they still just chewed through Fearless?
Yeah, they do track very well, and they were at a good range, I think, for hitting that Scimitar. If the Scimitar had gotten right in amongst them, then it might have been able to survive, but then it would have been neuted. So they've got that you have a real tough decision to make. It's hard to stay far away from the Vargr, which is what you do if you range disrupted them. It's if you come right in close with tracking disruption, then they can neut you.
Yeah, and the other good thing about the Hun setup there is that when you run 3 battleships that can all do a lot of damage, even if you track and disrupt all of them, if the pilots are good, they can manipulate their positions. Like if they position the 3 battleships in a triangle, it'll be really difficult for you to set up any kind of orbit that keeps you with a high transversal for the whole fight. So it's at any given time, at least one of the ships will be able to shoot you, and that'll be enough. And the other option, like you said, is getting far away, which they can handle because they're fast, and it's tough. I mean, it's tough even with the tracking disruption.
All right. Well, all right. That's one match done. Let's get back to CCP Pro and talk a little bit about streaming. So, are we seeing like a big movement of people picking up streaming for different games right now?
For different games, yes, definitely. The streaming scene in general has exploded in the past few years. It started off with StarCraft in Korea and so on. They had dedicated TV channels like years back, and all the StarCraft 2 players or StarCraft players in Korea were just lived in mansions and had supermodel girlfriends.
As you do.
But now it's made its appearance here, and we're seeing a lot of it happening. I mean, I know a League of Legends stream for their big tournament got 250,000 viewers. MLG got 2.7 million unique viewers for their final Sunday for their last tournament. And just
how many we're going to get tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or today?
It's
Sunday now.
Yeah, 2.7 million people.
Yeah.
So
and I mean, we don't have as many as them, but we are probably the oldest. We're probably the oldest, at least HD stream live.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
just patting ourselves on the back here.
And if you go with percentage of player base that is watching, then we are the top streamer ever.
That's because you guys out there are fantastic and like to watch spaceships, which makes us happy. Yeah. So what's happening with Eve streaming?
Eve streaming right now is almost non-existent, apart from the Alliance tournament. But that's something I really want to change. I mean, Kill2's already taken the first steps. He started streaming during the preliminary weekends and broke 1,000 viewers, which was really good. And since then, I've seen a surge of Eve streams coming up, with as many as 7 streams being live on Own3D and 3 on Twitch TV at the same time.
All right.
So 10 Eve streams going. But it seems that most of our players don't know that they're happening.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what we need to work on.
Is there anything we can do at CCP? Like, can we link these streams? Can we do like any?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
We should have a page that just has all the live streams of
Yeah.
the Eve.
Yes, that'd be really good.
And that's actually something that we're looking to work on and has already been set in motion.
So if anyone out there really wants to start streaming, is it difficult? Do you need to like basically be a programmer?
No, it's not very difficult at all. I think that's got a lot to do with why streaming is picking up a lot. It's getting easier and easier, I think. It probably would have been challenging a year or two ago, but right now all you need to do is go pick up a piece of software called XSplit, which you probably will have to pay for, but it's not very expensive. And that's really it. It's got a couple of simple things you have to set up when you first get started, and then after that all you have to do is push a button that hits start and it records and puts it up on a website for you. So it's really very easy.
Yeah, and it's all free. Well, you can use the free version of XSplit.
Okay.
It doesn't have all
Should have told me
features.
that before I bought it.
You get
That's
extra features when you buy the premium license, so you're set.
All right.
And registering accounts on On3D or Twitch TV, which are the two major stream providers right now, is completely free as well. So everyone out there should just go right now and test it out.
And there's other really cool things about that. It's been amazing for me to start streaming because it automatically records everything for you. So I used to spend all this time trying to make Eve videos where you have to spend all this time editing and clipping and doing all this stuff. And now it just auto records everything and it posts it for me. And so that's really good for video makers. Like it'd be cool if we could move a lot of the video making community into streaming because you get more content for less effort, which seems really good.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, if you know how to operate EVE Online, you can probably put a stream
Yes.
up. Like if you've done the tutorial in EVE Online, you can probably manage putting up streaming software. All right, that's really cool. I hope we have more. We of course had the awkward incident with the botter streaming a week or two ago. So
Make sure that your streaming activities are legal and EULA approved.
Yes.
We are monitoring.
Yes. We
Actually, you're monitoring obsessively. That's a really cool thing about getting started with streaming now, if you're interested, is CCP Bros, CCP Nullarbor, CCP Fox4. What's GM guy out there's name? I don't know. There's like 5 CCP guys that have been in stream chat for a lot of the streams anytime they get started.
Yeah.
Maybe they just love me, but I think it's been all of them. So.
No, I've caught myself with like 7 streams open.
Yeah.
Which is great. You get a lot of
stream
support.
Chat to stream chat.
It's been amazing.
Do you have any like recurring viewers that kind of follow you around?
Yeah, I do. I've particularly the Pizza Alliance we mistook Percussive Pizza Diplomacy for. There's another Confederation of Pizza, which are some buddies of Test and Fountain have taken to following me around whenever I stream in Griffins and just jamming me regardless of what's going on, which it's great. It's really good.
So annoying.
It's so annoying.
It's hilarious.
But it's fine. And actually, that I was really skeptical about streaming in Eve generally because of that problem. Eve is such an information-sensitive environment that giving away your position and stuff seemed like a big problem, but it hasn't been. It's been actually really good. It's caused a lot of really weird stuff to happen. It's generally fun and entertaining. So.
Well, I remember watching one of your streams and a giant fight broke out in the M-O gate.
Yeah.
Of just all people that came to be part of your stream and had a Thunderdome.
Yep. And that was a lot of fun. And I'm even thinking about in the future, with streaming and people wanting to be on TV and have events like that, it'd be very easy to just cloak myself in a ship on a gate and say, everybody come here and party, and I'll just film it. And I'm sure that would be...
And then they'll try to decloak you.
Yep. And that's fine. That'll be fun.
All right. Well, if anyone's interested, go to Own3D or Twitch and go pick up their software and put a stream up. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. It's probably interesting. Let's take a look at the teams that are going to fight. The next match, the second elimination match, is starting now. It's Godfathers versus Heretic Nation, 2 fairly small alliances. Isn't Godfathers basically a tournament alliance?
No, they've been around for a while. They have their roots back with Sons of Tangra, the old PL allies.
Yeah, of course.
And they hang out in Fountain. They used to have a lot more members, dropped a fair bit recently, but they're still doing really well in the tournament.
Yeah, I was just about to say, also undefeated so far. Beat Test, Ronin, Agony Empire, Fatal Ascension, Dark Taboo.
That's it.
That's a fairly strong
I haven't
record.
heard anyone say Godfathers is undefeated. It's kind of funny that we didn't even notice that. But.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been good.
And Heretic lost to Raiden and Exodus.
Yeah.
I have Godfathers in this match. I have to admit, I think they're going to.
I've got Heretic. I've seen them massacre my helpless alliance mates enough times at Amamaki that I've got a fair bit of respect for what they can do.
All right. Well, that's going to be super nice. I wonder if we could stream something. Maybe like
maybe an alliance tournament.
Something like an alliance tournament. No, but like when we played some of the alliance tournament teams on Sissy, maybe in a month or two we should just do a stream and just say the rest of you guys can come. Anyway, so the match is starting. This is Godfathers versus Heretic Nation. What do you say, Ravi?
I'm going with Heretic.
I'm going to go with Heretic too.
Yeah, I'm with those guys.
I'm going with Godfathers. They're going to remain undefeated.